All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are breaking down a really powerful framework for personal transformation. But here's the kicker. This isn't about some goal way off in the future. Nope. It's about making a huge shift, starting today, with a bunch of very specific daily actions. Okay, so this quote pretty much sets the stage for everything we're going to talk about. The whole idea here isn't to go out and chase success. It's about changing who you are, about embodying an identity that just naturally attracts it. The goal is to become a magnet for the things you want. And that's the big question, right? How do you actually do that? Well, this plan is the answer. And it's not some vague, fuzzy theory. It is a concrete, step-by-step blueprint for your entire day, from the second you open your eyes in the morning. So, let's get to the heart of it. This is so crucial. We are not just adding more tasks to your already packed to-do list. This is about a fundamental shift in your identity. It's about you deciding who you want to be and then just starting to live like that person right now. Now, check this out, because the change in language here is simple, but it is massive. On the left, you've got trying. I'll try to be more disciplined. It kind of implies you might fail, right? But on the right, you have being. It's an affirmation. I am disciplined. The source material says it perfectly. I am no longer trying, I am. That's a declaration. It's not an attempt. And this right here, this is the engine that drives this whole process. It's not one giant leap. It's a single, powerful decision that you have to consciously make every single day. The battle for your transformation, it's won or lost in those first few moments after you wake up. So let's get practical and look at the morning routine. This is how you build the foundation for the entire day. Think of it like this. This is where you consciously step into that new identity before the world or your phone gets a chance to tell you who you're supposed to be. Now, these are not just chores, okay? Each step is a deliberate choice to embody the person you're becoming. Making your bed is your first win, your first act of mastery for the day. Hydrating is an act of self-care. The meditation reinforces your inner state, and the journaling makes it explicit. You are literally programming your mind to be who you choose to be. And the whole morning routine builds up to this one challenge. You're not just thinking about it, you're visualizing it. Really see it. How does your future self move, think, act? And then you make that simple, powerful decision. Today, I'm going to be them. So, once that powerful intention is set, the focus shifts. Now it's all about reinforcing that new identity through action. You've got the mindset on lock. Now you have to prove it to yourself with your body and with your work. This physical challenge is designed to be a mirror of your inner strength. The plan calls for 4 rounds of this circuit. And it's not just about getting tired, It's about pushing past what you think your limits are and proving to yourself, through effort, what you're actually capable of. And here's the real point of the workout. It's not just about sweating. It's about reaching a state where the discipline feels natural, where the effort turns into flow. That is mastery. It's that feeling of effortless strength that's born from all that consistent hard work. Next, you take all that physical energy and you channel it directly into your purpose. For 2 to 3 hours, you focus on one big, meaningful goal. And these questions, they're not just about a to-do list. They're about connecting your actions to your identity. Who do you actually need to become to achieve this thing? And here's your practical tool for that work block. Because let's be real, doubt is going to creep in. It always does. But instead of letting it throw you off track, you use this simple question to get right back in alignment. This one question shifts you from a place of fear back into a place of power. So during the midday reset, the focus shifts to emotional power. And just look at this reframe. It's not about denying the fear. It's about transforming it. I fear failure becomes an opportunity to learn courage. I feel behind becomes a lesson in patience. You're turning your limitations into your personal curriculum for growth. This insight is so key. We often think transformation means we'll just stop being afraid. But this suggests something way more powerful, that our challenges, our fears, they aren't obstacles. They are the actual raw material we use to build our new selves. All right, let's jump to the end of the day. How do we pull all these experiences together? This is where you lock in the day's progress and make that identity shift really stick so it carries right over into the next day. The evening routine is all about bringing the day to a conscious close. You journal to recognize the wins, those moments you actually acted as your higher self.
You describe who you're becoming to really solidify that identity in your mind. And then you stretch, just to release the day's tension and get your body ready for some deep, restorative sleep.
A core part of the evening is this mirror ritual. You look yourself directly in the eye and you repeat this affirmation. And the goal isn't just to say the words, it's to repeat them until you genuinely feel them. It's an act of profound self-acceptance and encouragement.
And this explains why that ritual is so important. Self-appreciation is not vanity. It's an absolutely necessary key. If you're constantly criticizing yourself, you're just staying stuck in your old identity. But pride in your effort, not in perfection, but in the effort, that is what unlocks the door to the next level of your evolution.
So, after breaking down this entire daily structure, what's the core philosophy? What's the big idea you should take away from all this? What ties all these actions together? It really comes down to these 4 principles. This is what turns a simple routine into a real transformation. It's about living as your higher self today, not someday. It's about turning fear into fuel. It's about building confidence through action, not just talk. And it's about ending the day feeling proud, calm, and powerful. And that leaves us with one last pretty big question. This isn't just a plan to follow, it's a decision you have to make. We've laid out the entire framework, but the real power behind this whole process, it rests on the answer you give yourself when you wake up tomorrow. So who will you choose to be?